Hi students, this is the continuation of last topic. In the previous lecture we discussed about PDNF and PCNF, and also we solved the problems on PDNF and PCNF. This is part 9 of first unit, that is propositional logic. In this one we discussed the topics of theory of inference for statement calculus. Right? So to say that A and B are two statement formulas, to say that B logically follows from A or B is a valid conclusion of the premise A, if and only if A conditional B is a tautology. It is denoted by this symbol. We call it as a tautological implication. Right? So here A comma B be two statement formulas. In other words, we can say that A comma B are two propositions. To say that B logically follows from A, B logically follows from A, that is B is derived from A, or B is a valid conclusion from the premise A. Premise is nothing but a statement. If and only if A conditional B is a tautology. Here you have to note down one difference. If A biconditional B is a tautology, we say that A is logically equivalent to B. In other words, we denote it by A equivalent to B. If A biconditional B is a tautology, we say that A is logically equivalent to B. If A conditional B is a tautology, then B is a valid conclusion from A. Right? That means B is derived from A. Already we discussed this logically equivalent. Now we are seeing this. A conditional B is a tautology, then B is a valid conclusion from the premise A. Instead of saying in between two premises A and B, if we consider the set of premises H1, H2 and so on Hm, these are the given premises, and a conclusion is here C. To say that C is logically follows from the premises H1, H2, so on Hm, if C is derived from these premises conjunction. So whenever to say that B is logically follows from A, we need to say that A conditional B is a tautology. It is the rule for given premise and a conclusion. If set of premises H1, H2, so on Hm are given, then C is the conclusion. If H1 and H2 and so on Hm conditional C is a tautology, then we say that C logically follows from the set of premises H1, H2 and so on Hm. Now we will see the problem. Already we discussed the definition. Here how many premises are there? Two premises. What are those? See here. Determine whether the conclusion. What is the conclusion? C is the conclusion. Follows logically from the premises. What are the given premises? H1 and H2. And the conclusion is C. We need to check whether the conclusion C logically follows from the premises H1 and H2 or not. For that, here also we can solve this problem in two ways. One is using truth table procedure. So now I will solve this problem using truth table procedure. For that, we have to identify how many different variables are there. We have two different variables. What are those? P, here I am using truth table procedure. The other procedure is called using the rules of inference that we will see in the next class. So different variables, how many different variables? 2 different variables. What are the possible combination of truth values? TD, TF, FT, FF, right? Then first I need to find out H1 value. What is H1 here? It is P conditional Q. So in conditional table only in one case it is false, that is T to F it is false. Otherwise it is true. In the 3 remaining cases it is true. Now H1 completed. Next given premise is H2. What is H2? P is H2. Here P itself is H2. If you want, write one more time, no problem, as P as it is. So what is H2? P, TT, FF. Right. Next, what is our C? Before that, to say that the conclusion C logically follows from H1 and H2, our condition is H1 and H2 conditional C is a tautology, right? So for that first I calculate H1 and H2, continuation of this here. I note down H1 and H2. Right. For the first combination T and T is T, F and T is F, T and F is F, then T and F again F. Next, H1 and H2 H1 and H2 conditional C. Now I am calculating. What is C? C is nothing but our Q. So no need to write here. I mentioned that C is our Q. So H1 and H2 direction is H1 and H2 to C. T to T it is T. Then F to F also in conditional table T. F to T it is T. F to F it is T. So H1 and H2 conditional C, all the truth values are T's. So it is a tautology. If H1 and H2 conditional C is a tautology, therefore we can say that C is a valid conclusion from the premises or from the given statements H1 and H2. Here I solved the first problem. Already I typed second one solution. Once again I will explain here. For the second bit, H1 is P conditional Q, H2 is negation of P and Q, C is negation P. If we check the H1, H2 and C, we have 2 different variables, those are P and Q. So we need to start the truth table by considering P and Q. Because 2 variables are there, we have 4 different possibilities. I note down here. Then what is H1? H1 is P conditional Q, I calculated here. Then H2 is negation of P and Q. If you want, you can insert here one more column which is P conditional Q. P conditional Q is true only in one case, that is both are true. Now negation of this P and Q is true negation false, false negation true, right? Then I calculate H1 and H2. For these two columns joined by and symbol conjunction. In conjunction table, if both are true, it is true, otherwise it is false. So in this case only it is true, and also in the last case it is true. In the remaining cases, any one is false, so it is false. In the second problem, C is negation P. So we find out negation of P. Next, H1 and H2 conditional C we calculated. So for these two columns we apply conditional. In the conditional table it is false if first one is true, second one is false. Is there any case if first one is true, second one is false? No. Such case is not here. Therefore F to F it is tree, F to F again T, T to TT, T to TT. Because all the four truth values are T, in H1 and H2 conditional C, therefore it is a tautology. Therefore H1 and H2 conditional C is a tautology. Thus we can say that C is a valid conclusion from the set of premises H1 and H2. Like this, we conclude whether the given conclusion is tautologically implied or logically follows from the given set of premises. Because here only two premises are there, we can solve using the table very easily. Suppose if the given set of premises consisting of three different variables, then we have 8 possibilities. All of you know 2 cube 8 possibilities, right? If 8 possibilities is there, construction is a little bit difficult. Suppose if 4 different variables is there, if the given set of premises consisting of either 4 or more than 4 different variables are there, truth table procedure is very difficult. In that case, we are moving to the rules of inference, right? So what is the drawback of truth table? Whenever we are using the truth table, if the given premises consisting of only 2 variables, then it is easy. If 3 variables, we are having 8 different possible combinations. For those combinations, it is a little bit difficult. Suppose if the given set of premises which consisting of more than 4 or 4 different variables, truth table procedure is very difficult. For that purpose, we are going to by using the rules of inference, we solve the problem. Right. Validity using rules of inference and implication formulas. First, we will see what are the rules of inference. We have initially 2 rules of inference. These are the first one is rule P, second one is rule T. What is rule P? Rule P is nothing but if we use the given set of premises, any one premise directly, we call it as rule P. A premise may be introduced at any point in the derivation. So we consider the given premise directly into the derivation, and including that premise we can solve the problem. That is, introduction of a given premise in the derivation is called rule P. What is rule T? Rule T is nothing but a formula S may be introduced in a derivation if S is tautologically implied by one or more of the preceding formulas in the derivation. That is, S is derived from the given set of premises, we call it as rule T. Rule P is directly we use the given premise, we call it as rule P. Rule T is suppose if some proposition S is obtained from the given set of premises, again we use this formula S, we call that as rule T. Now already rules of inference completed. Next one is implication formulas. The other name of implication formulas is tautological implications, right? So what is meant by tautological implication? Already I explained using this symbol to say that B is logically follows from A. It is denoted by like this: if A conditional B is a tautology. Here in this implication formula I1, I wrote P and Q, tautological implication P, right? So if we construct P and Q conditional P truth table, it becomes tautology. It becomes tautology. So P and Q means that both the propositions P as well as Q are true. Then we can use either P or Q. These two formulas are called simplification. Whenever P and Q is available, we can take either P, also we can take Q. If we require, we can consider both P and Q also. Next, if P is available, only we have P, then we can write P or Q. Otherwise, if only Q is available, then we can write P or Q. This is called addition. Right? Next, negation P tautologically implied by P conditional Q. Similarly, Q is tautologically implied by P conditional Q. How these two are obtained? See here, negation P implies, we can write it as negation P or Q by using addition formula, because negation P or Q is equivalent to P conditional Q. So we get negation P implication, that means tautologically implied by P conditional Q. We get the first one. Similarly, we consider the second one, that is I6. If I take only Q, by using addition formula, Q implies we can write negation P or Q. If it is either P or Q or R, whatever the variable we require, we consider there. So negation P or Q, it is equivalent to P conditional Q. So Q logically implies to P conditional Q. Like that, these two formulas are obtained. Next one, see here, negation of P conditional Q. P conditional Q is equivalent to negation P or Q. It is equivalent. Take this negation inside, we call it as a De Morgan law. So it becomes P, negation of R becomes AND, negation of Q. P and negation Q is there. By using simplification, whenever the symbol AND is there, we can use both the variables P as well as Q, whatever we require. So P and negation Q. So if I require, I can use P. If I require negation Q, I will use negation Q. So like that, negation of P conditional Q is P. In the next formula, we will see negation Q. Right, this is negation Q. Next, if we have both P and Q, that is P is true as well as Q is true. If both are true, then we can use P and Q. If only P is true, only P is there, it logically implies P or Q. When we write and, if both are true, then only we write P and Q. Next one, disjunctive syllogism. Remember the name? Suppose if I consider negation P or Q. See, these two are given. What is the meaning of these two? Negation P means that P not done. P is not true. Negation of P means P is not true. P not true. The meaning of P or Q is either P is true or Q is true. Here I get P is not true. Therefore, logically implies Q. So, disjunctive syllogism. Next, modus ponens. What is modus ponens? So, what are the given propositions? P comma P conditional Q. It is equivalent to P. P conditional Q equivalent statement is negation P or Q. Right? So, using the first one, P is true. Using the first one, P is true. From this one, either negation P or Q. P is true means, but here negation P or Q. So that P comma P conditional Q. Here we are saying that P is true. Here we are saying that P is not true. So using these two we get a contradiction. So what is remaining? Q is remaining. That is called modus ponens. Next, modus tollens. See here, negation Q, negation P or Q. Using this and this, one is Q, one is negation Q. In one place we are saying Q is true, in another place we are saying that Q is not true. So both are contradict to each other. So what is remaining? Negation P is remaining. The formula is called modus tollens. Next one, P conditional Q, Q conditional R. Simple thing it is. Suppose if I start here at the college, if I move to the Lara gate, that is first one. If I move to if I start at Lara gate and if I move to Tenali, so what is the conclusion? If I start at the Lara and move to Lara gate, second one is if I start at Lara gate and move to Tenali, so what is the final conclusion? So initially I start at Lara, finally I reach to Tenali. So that is P conditional R is hypothetical syllogism. The name of that is hypothetical syllogism. Next, dilemma. What is dilemma? P or Q, either P or Q. Only one is true. Sometimes both also will be true. Here we are saying, suppose P is true. I am considering as P is true. If P then Q, what is the conclusion? I reach to Q. If Q then R. So what is the conclusion? R. Dilemma. If we go in diverse ways, finally we get only one conclusion. Initially I am taking P. Suppose if I start at Q, then if Q is there, Q to R. So finally I reach to R. So in both ways I am reaching finally R. So we call it as a dilemma. Right? Till now we are discussing rules of inference. We have two rules, that is rule P and rule T. Rule P is we are including the given premise at any point of the derivation. Next one is rule T. Suppose if I derive some formula S from the given set of premises, and if I reuse that formula, we call it as rule T. These two are the rules of inference. Then we discuss implication formulas. All these are implication formulas. If you are able to remember the formula names, okay, otherwise, but you need to remember the formulas. Right. See, first problem. Prove that R or S follows logically from the premises. It is the first premise, suppose if I take second premise, third premise and fourth premise. Right? So, prove that R or S, this is the conclusion part. We need to derive that conclusion C from the given set of four premises. So, I take it as first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Finally, I need to get this conclusion C, R or S. If you observe this problem clearly, 1, 2, C, D, 1, 2, H is third variable, A is fourth variable, negation B is fifth variable. Right? And again R, S, 6th, 7th. Total 7 variables are there. If we go to the truth table procedure, we are getting 2 to the power 7 combinations, right? So 2 to the power 7 means 128 possible combinations. Using 128 possible combinations, it is difficult to construct a truth table. So that we need to use rules of inference and logically equivalent formulas. See here, prove that S join R is tautologically implied by P or Q, P conditional R, Q conditional S. So we are taking P or Q as the first premise, P conditional R is the second premise, Q conditional S is the third premise. Because and symbol is here. So what is the final conclusion? S or R is the final conclusion. Right? So, right here, step number, then step number, given premise number, we write the premise rule. What is the first premise? P or Q is the first given premise. See here, P or Q is the first given premise. So we write P or Q given premise as it is, we call it as rule P. Then P or Q equivalent is negation P conditional Q because it is equivalent to negation of negation P or Q. Negation of negation P is P. Because we are deriving using the premise, first premise, so we call it as rule T. And using step number 1, right? Step number 1. P conditional Q formula is negation P or Q. Next step, we introduce the third premise, which is Q conditional S. We introduce the third premise. Introduction of a premise is nothing but rule P. Next, Q conditional S. Here we have negation P conditional Q. Here we have Q conditional S. Using step number 2 and 3, using the hypothetical syllogism formula, we have negation P conditional S. Right? Then again, we have negation P conditional S. Using the contrapositive, what is contrapositive? P conditional Q, contrapositive is negation Q conditional negation P. So negation S conditional, negation of negation P is P. Because we are deriving, we write it as rule T. Right? Now we introduce P conditional R, that is the premise 2. Right? What is premise 2? P conditional R is premise 2. We introduce second premise P conditional R. By combining these two, here it is ending with P, it is starting with P. So we use hypothetical syllogism, and step numbers 5 and 6 we write negation as conditional or. Right? Now negation as conditional or, using this one we can write this equivalent statement, negation of negation yes or. It is nothing but yes or, rule T, and step number 8. Therefore, finally using this table, we get yes or is the conclusion. Therefore, yes or is a valid conclusion from the given set of premises. Hence, yes or is a valid conclusion from the given set of premises. So, you solve these two problems using the rules of inference and tautological implications. Thank you.